Have you ever run into a situation like this before? Every time the battery starts getting weak, you immediately put it on charge thinking everything will be fine. But then the next morning, right when it's time to work, the drill suddenly won't receive power because the battery terminal stops making contact. A tiny problem, yet enough to throw the whole day off schedule. In this video, I'll show you a simple way to repair a universal drill battery terminal at home so it can work reliably again without replacing the whole thing. And just to make sure nobody thinks the result was faked or swapped out, I'm going to test it using a dedicated charger first. If the charger indicator light does not change color, then we can conclude that this universal battery terminal is having a charging detection problem. Not really surprising, as expected, this battery terminal is indeed not accepting a charge. This usually happens with battery terminals that have been used for a long time, especially after going through too many charging cycles. I'm going to mark this battery terminal first before starting the repair. And to prove that the drill itself is still working normally, I also prepared another battery terminal that still works fine so I can test the machine for you to see. I'm also going to mark this battery terminal as well, just to make the whole test more trustworthy. After finishing the test, we'll go ahead and open up the battery terminal housing first so we can clean and service everything inside. Before repairing any battery terminal that has charging or power contact problems, I always prefer to clean and service the inside first. After long-term use, fine dust, metal particles, and moisture can slowly collect around the contact points and spring mechanisms. Over time, this buildup increases electrical resistance, weakens the connection, and can even make the charger fail to recognize the battery properly. For cleaning jobs like this, a little WD-40 combined with a cotton swab works extremely well. The WD-40 helps loosen oxidation and old dirt around the metal contacts, while the cotton swab makes it easier to clean small corners and narrow gaps without damaging nearby components. Many times, the issue is not caused by a damaged part at all, but simply by dirty or oxidized contact surfaces that have been neglected for too long. Spending a few extra minutes cleaning everything carefully helps make the diagnosis more accurate and also improves the reliability of the battery terminal after repair. Of course, if you already cleaned and serviced your battery terminal recently, you can skip this step and move straight to the next part. After finishing the cleaning, it's time to make two simple tools for restoring the battery terminal. The first one will be made from a regular binder clip. The most useful part we can reuse from it is the pair of metal handles, because their shape and springy steel work surprisingly well for this kind of repair. Now I'll attach the two metal clip handles onto the two sliding slots of the battery terminal so the connection can become tighter and more stable during use. Next, I'll move on to the wiring step using this short piece of electrical wire. Both ends of the wire will be prepared so I can attach two alligator clips, making it easier and more secure when connecting to the power supply. Since the setup will work in pairs with one positive and one negative line, I'm preparing two different wire colors so it's easier to tell them apart during the connection process. There's probably nothing more suitable for this setup than using a small-sized battery as the power source. Besides being compact and easy to move around, it also provides a stable current for restoring and testing the battery terminal connection system. For small DIY projects like this, a portable battery like this makes the whole setup cleaner, safer, and much more convenient to work with. And there's one more important thing you need to pay attention to. Once the connection is started, you should check the condition every 15 to 20 seconds. Since this is basically a quick recovery method for battery cells, keeping the timing under control will make the process more effective and help avoid putting unnecessary stress on the cells. So it's a success. The charger's indicator light changed color after plugging it in, and I'll leave it like that until it's fully charged. But to know whether it truly works reliably or not, we can't just rely on the charging indicator alone. The important part is whether the battery can deliver stable power during actual use. That's why the final real-world testing step is something that simply cannot be skipped. And just like that, the battery terminal is working normally again. Sometimes all it takes is a careful inspection and a simple repair to bring an old tool back to life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next project.